my top 15 moments of the Renaissance tour. And this kind of commemorates everything. Before we get into that, up into the tour, I really had
not high expectations and not low expectations, but I took my expectations out of it and wanted to experience whatever Beyonce was going to give me. I had high expectations because of Beyonce. I know she ain't going to give me scraps. I know she ain't going to give me, half-butt performances. I know she's going to give it her all. And mind you, around this time, there was a lot of negativity, and people know who all of the accounts were being negative, but I didn't pay attention. Like, I avoided it because I couldn't do it personally. That's me. I cannot do negativity. I'm a positive person, so negativity is like, it's too much for me. I already have anxiety, so it messes with my anxiety. But anyway,
this is the top 15. Coming up at number 15. 15 is iconic because number 15 was the Vegas jump. Crazy. So I did jump off of the stratosphere. I forget how many feet it was, but it was high, okay? I jumped from that tower and I'm excited, nervous. Renaissance is the best tour ever. Beyonce is the reason I'm doing this.
Take a step to your right.
I wanted to do that experience that Beyonce did of jumping off of a building. And I'm adventure hive, so I'm crazy enough to do it. I've jumped out of an airplane, so what's a building, right? So that experience was so funny. My mom probably was like, really?
that experience was so funny because my mom forgot to record when she was down. Like, she's down waiting for me. And I'm up, I have like a recording device on me too, but she forgot to press record when she was down there. I'm like, that's such a you thing to do. She still beats herself up about it, but it is okay, Mom. Like, I got footage because I had it on me. Like, relax.
But that jump, I was so scared. One thing about that jump that was so cool is that Beyonce's favorite number is 4. And a little tidbit about me, my favorite number is 5. My birthday is May 15th, so 5/15. So when I went there was like this number 4, like at this thing that said 4 and 5. So that kind of released all my fear, went away. I was nervous, but I was like, I gotta do this. So I jumped and it was so much fun. And this is awesome! Renaissance is the best tour ever! Yes, I love it! Beyonce, I love you! So that was number 15. For that would have to be Alien Superstar. But it was Alien Superstar. Number 14 would have to be when I made it on the news. So,
this was in a Louisville show when I had my Barbie. So you guys remember that I had my Barbie. I still have my Barbie box upstairs. But I came in, was in a Barbie, and literally I took pictures right in front of the sign. And in my head, I'm like,
somebody need to notice me for this. Like, where is Parkwood? Where was Parkwood? Like, in the Louisville show was where I made my shine. Where were y'all? Y'all was probably on the inside. I was on the outside. So I'm in the Parkwood carrying this box. I was ready. Like, where were y'all? I had paid attention previously. Was like, okay, this is my time. Where was Parkwood? But I was like, whatever. I'm just here to experience it anyway. Mind you, I had Beehive B tickets, so I was excited. So none of that mattered, but it was like, notice me, Parkwood, help me, hello. I need Beyonce to know I'm here. But everything happened for a reason, because I'm taking this big box, me and my mom dragging it across. We dragging this big Barbie box across the thing. I'm dressed like the Barbie, so obviously I'm standing out, okay, like a sore thumb. Like, but I'm standing out like crazy. Everybody's like passing me, like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. So this guy passed me and is like, oh my gosh, like, hey, I'm such and such with the local news. I was wondering, do you want to like do a segment on you? I'm like, obviously, like, I've been waiting for you guys. duh. Like, I've been waiting for my close-up. If Parkwood ain't gonna do it, the news came in clutch for me, okay? So I'm like, I try to hold my clothes. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, of course. Duh, it's Brianna. Right, Brianna? We get ahead of ourselves. Okay. So the news came in, they interviewed me. It was so much fun. And we just have this iconic era already. Energy. You know, I'm gonna be extra when the cameras go boop, 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 people waiting like da, 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 da. Definitely gave energy. But it was just such a fun time, like being interviewed by the news, and I'm just, hey. So I still have this sign. Also had this, which my 4th Renaissance tour, which if you paid attention in the interview, you paid attention in the interview that I did with the news, I was like, okay, I'm focusing on, this is my 4th show.
Yes.
Okay, and you have more to come.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm like, okay, good, yeah. But this is my 4th show. And look, it has album 4 on it. I can't with me. Number 13, which again, it's so hard to rank these. But number 13 would be the Balmain collection. And I was in Toronto, so I knew I had to go to Toronto at the very least. I also wanted to experience the collection. Like, I wanted to see everything. When I tell you, I was in that place from sunup to sundown, literally right before the day before my show. Did not leave, okay? I left to go change, and yes, I did another quick change. So you know I'm gonna be extra, but I did another quick change, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna change it to this. When I tell you, I was in that store I was in there forever, just listening. They had Renaissance playing, so again, they had Renaissance playing, listening to Renaissance, enjoying the art, enjoying everything, because I knew, like, at first at that time, I'm thinking maybe it'll be in Atlanta, but just in case, I want to experience this from beginning to end, like in its full. So I literally stayed there forever, and I changed in my car, went back in there, and enjoyed myself again with my outfit I created. So, you know, shout out to me. But it was just so much fun. And that song I'm gonna give Virgo's Groove, because it had Beyonce's iconic Virgo nature all over it. Like, who other than Beyonce has a whole line that coordinates with their album? Like, what? And not even just a whole clothing line. Balmain. Number 12. Number 12 was the tour trailer dropping. Y'all. Now, I know some of y'all was like, how is this number 12? I have a whole level of the trailer dropping, because throughout
my time, like when the album dropped, when the tour dropped, I should say, when the tour dropped, I knew if there was going to be a show where there's a trailer, there's a new album, there's something dropping, I want to be at that show. I want to experience that show from the beginning. Because if you remember On the Run 2,
Scream Went Black, it was crazy. I wanted that experience for myself. I said, this era, I want that experience. And I got it. Now, in my heart, it feels like it should be higher, so I might change it. But just based on everything that happened, that was number 12. So I always wanted to experience something dropping. And the fact that I manifested that, priceless. That song, Summer Renaissance. Because obviously, the last show, tears were shed, memories were made, and it was just the beginning of the end. So, not okay. But that is definitely Summer Renaissance. Again, these are not ranked by what I think are the best tracks on the album. This is just what coincides with my favorite experience that I had throughout the Renaissance tour. And this is through the Renaissance tour. So I got to experience that iconic, and I just remember it going black. I remember, okay, so
I had ran into Parkwood employees. Her name is, one of the girls' name is Leah. I forget the other guy's name, but they was like, I was at the Kansas City show, and I was like, oh yeah, do you want to do a video? Mind you, I was so nervous, and I did say, Beyonce, like, put me in a film. This is before the even film was dropped, and I'm like, put me in a film. I just knew a film was coming, and I'm like, put me in a film, and in my head, I'm like, if we don't get the film, like, if the film doesn't drop today, I'm gonna be like, well, what the heck? But also, it felt like it, because in that moment, everything was extended. Like, Blue was taking a little longer, like, in a good way. Like, she had this standing ovation, was iconic. And everything about that time just felt like
we are getting the film. We're getting the film, and it's going to drop at this concert. So everything about that was so amazing. And so number 11, I gave to all of the performances. So I wasn't there for Meg Thee Stallion, so all the performances I saw was Blue, Kendrick, Diana Ross. Even though I was in the nosebleeds for Diana and Kendrick, it was still an iconic moment. Like, so this is of course the B-Day show.
well, first let's get into Blue. Blue, I am so proud of Blue. So proud of you, Blue. You did the thing. You showed out. And I hate that you saw all the negative comments. I'm acting like she won't see this. You never know though. But I hate that she saw all the negative comments, because at 11 years old, I think y'all put a lot of negative energy on her because she's Beyonce's child. But in a normal society, in a normal way, you're not going to look at an 11-year-old on a stage with even 10 people and be like, oh, that 11-year-old sucked. Oh, that 11-year-old, she's 11. I think she's 11 years old. And she didn't suck. She ate that. Okay? Let's get that right. And not only did she eat that, she did that in front of thousands of people. How many of y'all can say y'all did that at 11? Okay, how many of y'all would have been able to do that at 11? Okay, yeah, don't play with Blue. Don't play with my little cousin, yeah. But she ate that so bad. And also Kendrick Lamar and Diana Ross, that show was crazy. That show was insane. Like, I did not expect Diana Ross to come out. And I'm like, man, I wish I had 4 seats. But everything happens for a reason. It is what it is. I tried my best, but them 4 seats was like, And this was already my, 7th show, and I wanted to go. It was either 4 seats for the B-Day show, no Kansas City, or Kansas City and get some behind pits in the line. I was getting behind pits again, but it was not happening for the B-Day show, and that's fine with me.
And for that song, it would be Break My Soul, because when you was there, you didn't see it on the thing, but first of all, Blue Ivy, hello, you will not break her soul. And for the B-Day show, it was a lot of malfunctions happening, and it gave very much You Won't Break My Soul, because they still performed and they still did good. Kendrick ate that performance, even with his mic malfunction. All right, number 10. Now we're making it to the top 10. This is top 10, guys. And when I explain it, it's going to explain why the other ones were a little bit lower. But again, this is not low. This is so iconic. Like, even saying that I've experienced all this in this era is crazy. So already I've experienced seeing Blue, Diana Ross, Kendrick, right? I've experienced being on the news. I've experienced seeing the Balmain collection. I've experienced jumping off the stratosphere. I've experienced the trailer dropping. That is nowhere. That's not to be like, oh, it's just number 15, or oh, it's just number 14, 13, 12, 11. That is iconic within itself, okay? That is still top tier. So just because it's at the lower of the list doesn't mean the whole list eats down. Let's get that straight, because I did that. And I'm expecting even more for Cowboy Carter. Putting that out there in the universe. But number 10 Washington Post. That, shout out to Twitter Hive. Y'all did that. Y'all blew me up. Y'all did that. And mind you, I used to hate Twitter Hive. Long story. But y'all ate that. So shout out to Twitter Hive. Y'all ate that. Washington Post was crazy. If y'all remember, so
I went viral on Twitter. We'll get into that soon. And the Washington Post, girl named Janae, shout out to Janae, she contacted me about doing like an expose or an article about me for the Washington Post. And of course I said yes. And the funny thing about that is Sweden, I didn't get a chance to get the Beehive experience, but the only thing I wanted from the Beehive experience that I didn't get from Club Renaissance and that I knew I wasn't going to get was pictures, right? You have the VIP experience, you get to take a picture in front of the backdrop. Didn't miss it because I had my own photographer. Came up in there, people was looking like, who are you? Like, I changed already. Like, in line, it was cool, but then when I changed, everybody was like, wait. The guy came and got me, the photographer got me, took my pictures, and I just did an interview basically on traveling to Sweden and stuff like that, and how my whole trip from Sweden cost less than anything from the States. So that, being in the Washington Post, and I still have so many of the newspapers.
you don't need to see the whole thing. There I am. Beyonce fans get cozy in Sweden. Maybe cozy should be the name. I was gonna put move, but it's giving cozy. It's giving cozy. It's giving cozy. But that one I did put move. Move out the way. I look my guys and we all need space. When the queen come through, part like the rest say, move out the way. How many times I'ma say that whole experience was so iconic. I manifested getting my pictures that I wanted. It was still so iconic. Washington Post, top 10. Number 9, which we just talked about, was the Club Renaissance Parkwood. That was, and Washington Post being under that is only because it was like, what? The Parkwood was crazy. Like I said, play Renaissance beginning to end. Crazy. And just knowing at any moment when a camera is on you, knowing Beyonce is probably seeing your face, hearing your voice, like from Destiny's Child to now, knowing Beyonce probably hears my voice is crazy. Knowing she has probably heard my voice and has heard my voice is crazy. But that experience was just so iconic. So that's number 9 for sure. Number 8, okay. Number 8, because I'm a softie, is meeting some of you, meeting some of my fellow Beehive. It was just so iconic to meet some of you, to be inspired by a lot of you, to experience this era with a lot of you. And for that, you guys are number 8. Number 8, I chose the song Cozy. A part of number 8 is also like the iconic moments where when Beyonce first came out, like when Renaissance was, the album actually was dropping, on my door camera, you could see like a bee buzzing, like a bee coming to my door. When I was at the rehearsal, Beyonce's rehearsals in Sweden, there was a bee following me around. So that was iconic. And just all the memorabilia. Got this in Sweden. Shout out to the Beehive. I won't say your name because I don't know if it was allowed or not. But shout out to the Beehive who got me this poster. Would ask me, I don't know. Maybe I found it. Maybe it was in my suitcase and I found it in my suitcase. I ain't gonna call you out. But you know who you are. Shout out to you and thank you. Because this is one of my favorite things. Anyway, is it even hot in here? What did Michelle say? Is it getting hot in here? So shout out to you. But yeah, number 8 is all the Beehive I met, been inspired by, got to experience this tour with, and I'm going to do a special shout out to number one. At number one. This person, special shout out to you. So the next one, number 7, has to do with my Barbie. And by the way, it's still in good condition. Look at that.
So on the year anniversary of Renaissance, Parkwood had posted Beyonce, but right after Parkwood posted Beyonce, they posted me and my Barbie at the Louisville show. And for the longest, it was just me and Beyonce. Afterwards, they started posting more people throughout the day, but for the longest, it was just Beyonce, then a Barbie. And people were like freaking out on the internet, like, why would she post this? Like, this don't make no sense. And the whole time, it gave me life. Alright, it might have been annoying to y'all, but to me, it was everything. So that goes at
number 7. I gave that plastic off the sofa because it was a very intimate moment for me. Being posted by Beyonce's company right next to Beyonce on the anniversary of Renaissance will forever be one of the most special moments that I hold dear to my heart, a part of this era. And just to think, like, already this has been so iconic. This has been so crazy. With that, it was so funny because they did like 4 slides, right? They had a close-up of my Barbie and it said, please sign me. Then they had a close-up and a close-up, and the last close-up was...
They so petty. The last close-up was right here, Beyonce's signature. And I feel like Beyonce was like, close up on that and show her, she got my signature right here on the box. But Beyonce, let me talk to you. You know what I meant. So don't be petty like that with me, like with your little cousin. Don't do that. Okay, let's not do that. But I get what you're saying. But no, I want a real signature, ma'am. Okay, something that I can hang up and cherish for the rest of my life. That is actually from your hand, not a printed. Cause I can go right now downstairs and go on my phone and print your signature and put it on the box. Okay, yeah, we're in a new era, Beyonce. We're in a new age. I don't know if you realize that. We're in a new age. This is cute, and I'll cherish it forever. But I want your wrist to write it. Like, I want your fingertips on the paper. I want the scent of who you are. Sorry. But for real, I want your signature, okay? So I didn't let that go. Now, when you was up on stage, I get it. You couldn't give me one. But if you need my address, my DMs are open. My DMs are always open for you. And for Miss Yvette, you can send her something, tell her, hey, Brianna wants my signature, ask for her address. It could be a piece of paper. I don't need a box, okay? If you don't want to give me a box, you ain't got to give me a box. But, like, if you want to literally sign a piece of paper, you can even troll me and have Miss Yvette sign it and be like, sign my name, so she thinks she got something. I don't care who it's from. As long as it says Beyonce and I can pretend that it's from you, I'll be totally happy, okay?
That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, that was petty Parkwood. Parkwood, that was extremely petty, but I love you for it. And it made my whole life. Number 6, this kind of is the whole experience mostly of my Renaissance. Beehive pits. Beehive pits, and I put being on a big screen or whatever, but the Beehive pits, A and B. I've been to both A and B. Actually, add in Club Renaissance too, because all of those experience was
an iconic experience for me. Like, being in a Beehive pits, I didn't think I would be that close to Beyonce to where she could see me, I could see her. She can read my sign. She can see my face. That's crazy. So Beehive pits is definitely number 6, but also add in Club Renaissance and Beehive A and Beehive B. Because I did Beehive A in Kansas City and Beehive B most of my other tours. So the pits and being on the big screen. The big screen was Beehive A, and it was such a random thing. It was in the Kansas City show, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, and I'm looking at the screen. And mind you, I had only noticed once. When I left, people were noticing me from the screen. They're like, oh, you were on the screen. I saw you there. People on Instagram, oh my gosh, I saw you on there. And I'm like, what? You saw me 4 times? I only saw me once. But throughout the time, she had placed me on the screen, and I guess I was just there. And that was a part of being in a Beehive experience. But also, if you notice, the camera, there was different angles you could be on the big screen. I didn't study all that. I just kind of went with the Beehive experience.
So that's number 6. Song Pure Honey, because that is dedicated to the legendary Beehive. Oh, Beehive. I love her so much. Now we are getting into the top 5 Renaissance experience for me of this tour. Top 5 Renaissance tour experiences. So we did top 15 Renaissance, top 15 Renaissance tour experiences, top 10 Renaissance tour experiences for me, and now we're at top 5. Number 5, coming in, opening night. Oh my God. Let me break this down. Some people say you shouldn't go to an opening night of a show because they're still trying to get out the kinks, right? It happens any great artists, like the opening show, especially because Beyonce had been gone from touring for years. Of course, they're going to have kinks that they have to get out. But not knowing what was going to be performed, not knowing the complete tour set list, not knowing the stage design, not knowing the dance routine, not knowing different transitions, not knowing what song was going to start the show, and coming to it and hearing Dangerously in Love, tears. The beginning of my hype journey, of course, was DC, but DC in the aspects of Michelle, Beyonce, Kelly. I was coming into like Beyonce stan as Destiny Fulfilled. So that was my beginning. That was my arc era. And then of course it ebbs and flows because of course I have anxiety, so I didn't go on tours. I'm so mad because I'm a fan of Beyonce since DC, right? Never got a meet and greet. Never went to go see DC on tour. Never got to experience any of that. And they was out. Like, they was out. I don't regret anything, but it's still, it makes me feel some type of way. I was going through my own life experiences, growing, learning, and it all happens for a reason. So,
anyway, yeah, opening night was insane. And I remember leaving that place not knowing what was what. Not only did I see Beyonce so close, but I seen Beyonce. Like, Beyonce. It was just an awe-inspiring, like, jaw-dropping, like, I can't believe this is happening experience from beginning to end. Like, so much was happening that I was just overwhelmed. It was like an overwhelm to where you're in that moment, but you can't even comprehend the moment. Like, if that even makes sense. You're in that moment, but you can't even, like, truly experience the moment because you're so overwhelmed. Like, it's like, okay, I'm listening to Beyonce sing Dangerously in Love, but then when I comprehend that, it's like she's on Flaws and All. And then when I comprehend that, it's like, okay, now she's doing this. Now she's going to I'm That Girl. Now we're starting out. It was insane. Insanity. Like, and just experiencing that, knowing you're the first person, not first person, but you're one of the few people that have experienced that. Crazy.
You go for hours and hours talking about that. Let me stop right there because y'all already see how it's going, right? Y'all see how intense it's going. It's getting real. I gave that all up in your mind because her mind is crazy. So now we're at number 4. So 5 again, my favorite number. 4, Beyonce's favorite. So number 4 is, of course, making my creations along the way. So being inspired by the first creation I think I made was later we found out it was Your Honey. And I remember
Marty posted on Instagram and was like, shout out to Marty, posted on Instagram and was like, what are y'all wearing to the Renaissance tour? And it had the Pure Honey. And I jumped on that post and said, I might recreate this. Like, what do you mean? And I knew I had to. Like, I knew I had to recreate that. From that to my Barbie outfit to when We Are the Visuals outfit and even creations that I did along the way. Like, that's top 4 because creating really helped. I learned with my anxiety, with a lot of things that I go through. And again, I'm working on trying to work on how to make that profitable. Top 4, of course, going through, like, I remember going to the Joann's, right? And I'm looking at all of the different things, and in my head, I'm going to recreate. I had a different idea of what I was going to recreate for the Barbie one. I didn't even think about the Barbie one. But I'm going down the aisles, and I see the exact fabric for the Barbie. And it reminded me of back in DC days, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I remember the Barbie I had. I remember having a Michelle Barbie and a Beyonce Barbie. I still can't find my Michelle Barbie. Sorry, Michelle. I was playing with you down, girl. You was getting worn out. You and Brandy. I can't find my Brandy doll either. It brought me back to that part of my childhood, so I knew I had to, right? I knew I had to recreate that.
Y'all probably could guess what's gonna be my top 1, but I don't care. So that was number 4. For number 4, I gave that song, I'm That Girl. Because period, I am. I'm that girl. Now we're getting into top 3. Top 3 is so iconic that I'm still processing it. Like, top 4 was already crazy. Top 5 was crazy. Top 10 was crazy. Top 15 was crazy. This whole Renaissance era is crazy. But top 3 is wild. Number 3. Hold on. Let's see if y'all can guess my top 3. If you know me, guess. Y'all know number 1. What's number 2 and 3? Okay. Number 3 was being in the Beyonce film.
You are the visual baby.
And I am, and I was. Being in the film. Top 3 experiences of all time. Not even just with the tour, just of all time. Just all time. Because I kind of explained it for the Kansas City show. Shout out to the girl, Leah.
She was recording me and the other guy was recording me, and, you know, I just was like, put me in a film, Beyonce, joking, whatever. And, like, I even did a thing on TikTok, like, Beyonce, I'm manifesting being in the film. Like, I let it be known I want to be in the film, okay? I want to be the visuals. And I was, and I am. So, it took me 3 times watching the Renaissance tour film to realize I was in the film. Think about that, right? So, the first time I see it, I'm just excited to see it, right? But in my head, in my heart, I'm secretly wishing, like, I want to be in this film. But first one went, I watched it, whatever, and I'm just overwhelmed by the experience. But in my heart, I'm like, dang, I wasn't in it. That sucks. But it was still cool. And I still saw a lot of y'all in it, so it was cool. But it was also, like, disappointing, like, dang, I wanted to be in this film. And a lot of people will be like, you seen that many shows? You should have been in it. Listen, I know people who've been in more shows than me and wasn't even a glimpse in it. So, I'm grateful. And at the end of the day, it's not about that. Like, if you're behind, you're not like, oh, I should be in the film, I should be there. You're just grateful Beyonce blinked at you, okay? Beyonce just blinked at me. Alright, you made my life. Yeah. But, and I remember the first time I seen it, I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm not in the film. Second time, I went back to see it, just to see if I was in the film. Like, maybe I missed me. Didn't see me. And I'm like, okay, so I'm really not in the film. But, and mind you, normally people, if they see you in a film, they'll text you, like, you know when you're trending on something, because your other behind mutuals will be like, oh my gosh, I saw you in this scene. When I was like, oh, I ain't got that message. I knew I ain't getting there. And that was okay. In the film, that sucks. But, I go watch it again. And this time I'm using my phone and recording it because I had seen I didn't give up hope. I seen another film with a lot of people that I was next to. And I was like, I wonder if I was in that scene. Like, So I recorded it. I did a close-up on it. Saw me. Now, one time I thought I saw me. It wasn't me. But then I recorded it again and I seen me again. Then I seen it was me. Then I saw me again. I was like, and it was on my Louisville show with my Barbie. And it was on the show, the Kansas City show. 3, definitely being in the film. Being the visuals. A part of that, I got to experience something that I always wanted to do. That was to see the Golden Gate Bridge. So when I was in LA to see the film, I drove to San Francisco and got to see the Golden Gate Bridge. And that was just another dream come true. So that coincides with being in the film because I was in the film and I got another dream that I made come true, which was seeing the Golden Gate Bridge. Beautiful, by the way. Did not disappoint. Yeah, I've always wanted to see that since I was a young kid. And I'm very much a tourist.
America has a problem because I was in that segment right after Kendrick Lamar. Ghosting. You know I grind. I'm an honorary beehive. I see why. That was where I was in the film, guys. Right after that, and when she said the beehive, they got me. And then she shouted out, we ain't gonna get into that. We ain't gonna be messy, okay? We're not messy. We're not messy. Speaking of messy, number 2. Number 2 is one of the most messiest. It was so messy. So messy. So messy. But so funny at the same time. Like, I'm the type of person, I think it's funny when people, like, talk behind my back, when people do different things. I think it's hilarious. Especially when you don't have anything, because I'm going to tell the truth anyway. So it's funny when somebody either, like, you're going to have to make up a lie. You're going to have to. You're going to have to. But it's funny to me because it was just so messy and so iconic and so hilarious. And it brought some of y'all to my page. It brought some good. It brought some very, very good. So I can't complain. Number 2, of course, is hearing the Beyonce rehearsals and my videos leaking. So,
some of y'all know the story of I was in a group with some people, and to this day, some of the people believe that I leaked it. I'm not, I'm gonna let y'all know something about me. I don't care about this whole clout thing. Like, genuinely. Do not care. Like, I understand life in a whole new aspect of life. Clout is not going to get you anything in life that I want, that I value. Like, for example, be successful in certain areas, right? Now, negative clout isn't always going to get you customers. Trust me, I've been there. I've been where I'll have clout from Facebook or something at a post I made, and people are like, I'm not buying your stuff because I'm like, okay, yeah. Like, I don't care about clout to lie. I'm always going to tell the truth no matter what. But there's still people that think that I had leaked my own video, which I would never. I would never disrespect Beyonce. I would never disrespect Parkwood. I would never disrespect anybody in that aspect to intentionally mess up an experience. Like I said, you've seen all the list of my experiences. I would not want to mess that up for anybody. So, truly apologize that it leaked, and I own up to it. I'm not absolved of accountability because at the end of the day, I was excited, shared it with people, thought it would be an inside thing, and thought other people would be like me to where we don't need this on the internet. Like, I literally had Twitter in a frenzy trying to get that video, and I wouldn't give it to not one page, not one person, not one person in my DMs, not one account in my DMs, nobody, because I cherished that and I wanted to experience it with people that I felt I would cherish it the same way I did. Now, some it did, some would never, but others, you know, my video got leaked. It is what it is, but it still was an iconic moment. It still was hilarious because, okay, let's start with listening to the rehearsals. Mind you, I literally thought that y'all already knew that Beyonce was rehearsing. I just knew y'all already heard the whole set list. So me sharing on Twitter wasn't like, oh, I got this, I'm hearing Beyonce and y'all. No, I'm not that type of person. But when it started to go up, I said, oh, this is going to be interesting. Like, and I couldn't stop telling you guys, updating you guys. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. But I wasn't doing that to like dangle a carrot in front of y'all. I was just doing it because I was so excited that I couldn't contain it. Like, so I had to go on Twitter like, yo, oh my gosh, she performed again. Like, But hindsight is 2020. So looking back, it was so funny when my video got leaked. I had said something and people was like, it was like as if there was an audience in my life, right? And people just cheering because finally we got the video. Like, they're cheering because my video got leaked. To them, it probably felt like, oh, you're dangling this in front of us because you keep tweeting about it. This is my Twitter. Now I barely get like 2 likes, and that's how I like it. If you are gonna give me clout, give me something to like, you know, don't come with negativity. But I have too much anxiety. Like notifications annoy me. So when a lot of the things, like if even a comment I see on somebody else's video gets viral or gets a lot of likes, it annoys me. Even my tour footage that I posted would annoy me because all these notifications coming in stress me out. Like, it's annoying. I don't know. That's just me. So y'all was begging for it, and I shared it to them. And for a moment, it felt really good. Like, oh my gosh, like, and they were going back and forth. Everybody was so excited. Like, and that's where it got messed up. I think the excitement, you know, some people are jealous of excitement of others. I don't know. That it's a messy situation.
But it will always be one of the top funniest things ever because it was so iconic. But just hearing the tour, the set list, and not knowing it was the set list because she was literally performing the whole thing. Like, I got to hear everything. And hearing Dangerously in Love, hearing Drunken Love, oh my God, hearing Drunken Love, that was so crazy. So hearing all of that, like for the first time live, was so crazy. Such an iconic experience. Getting to hear my favorite rehearse, like my favorite artist, the artist of all time, all of our artists of all, she is the artist of all of our lives. To hear her rehearse, and it sounded like, literally it sounded like I pressed play on Renaissance, on Spotify, or on Amazon Music. It was like press play. That girl, yeah, it sounded just like that, but even better because her vocals were insane. Then you get the Cuff It. Cuff It was crazy.
Go ahead, B.
I think Cuff It stuck out because that run that she did was so, I remember even hearing it. And then in the video, you hear my voice like laughing and giggling. That's just me. I wasn't plotting. That's just me. But I get it. I totally get it. There's going to be people who lie on you. There's going to be people who don't like you because, and this won't be the first or the last time, because I have a spirit that you're going to be irritated if you're not genuine. The person who doesn't like to see people win, you're going to hate me. It is what it is. And I'm a positive person to win. I look at life very full, not half full, but very full. That's my perspective. It always is, always going to be. But that was iconic, and that led to some of these other experiences. That led to me being on the news. That led to me being in Washington Post. That led to so many opportunities, so I would not take it away. And I doubt, I mean, you never know who's watching, but if you're seeing this and you think, oh, Beyonce did, or if you're seeing this and you think, oh, Brianna, I truly am such a troll. So I apologize for after how I reacted after, because I just thought it was funny. And sometimes, you know, you gotta just let it go. You don't even gotta speak about it. Sometimes you just gotta, it is what it is. But the only reason why I'm speaking about it to this point is because it's number 2. And number 2 is obviously Cuff It and I'm That Girl. Because I did not ask for this power. I ain't want it. I didn't want this power. I was literally at the Renaissance shows screaming that part to the top of my lungs because I did not want this power that y'all gave me. That Beyonce has bestowed upon me. I didn't want it, okay? Take it back, Beyonce. I don't know how you do it. This was just a sprinkle, okay? This wasn't even a portion of what Beyonce goes through. But I was like, y'all can have it. Take it. It ain't for me. I don't want it. I don't want that power ever again. But it was funny. Now we get to the number one. Number one. Beyonce saying my name. Beyonce saying my name. I'm gonna get through this without crying. I don't even know how to start this actually. But
after I did the Pure Honey outfit, my next outfit was the Barbie. Like I said, I went into Joann's. I said, I have to do this. Beyonce has been my favorite artist for the longest time. I've been with her since DC days. Like, I have to be the Beyonce Barbie. It was around the time the Barbie came out. That was a coincidence. But all of this was set up, and I had a sign that said, say my name, Beyonce. Now, she looked at it and didn't say nothing. I don't know if she tried to read it. I don't know what happened with that. That ain't none of my business. But, it's none of my business. But I said, this time, I'm going to put my real name. I'm going to put Brianna. You know, because I just feel like it's going to be worth it. I'm just going to say my name, Brianna. So I had my mom write out my thing because I suck at writing. So I had her put, say my name, say Brianna. So, go there, whatever. She opens up, and I see her again. This is like, what is this, like the 5th or 6th time I've seen her? This would be the 5th. And I remember writing this down. It was my 5th show. Again, my favorite number, mind you. My 5th Renaissance show. So I looked at her, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, what the heck? And it's crazy because she saw me in the audience. Like, she popped up, she's looking around, she points at me, and she's like, so when you see that, that's her looking at me, seeing that I had my thing. And I had the please sign me, and I had the Barbie, and I had the outfit on. So, look crazy now. But that was this, and then it was taped right here, obviously. And she's doing Dangerously in Love or whatever, and singing it, so I know she noticed that. I saw her see it. And I'm crying and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's seen it, because she did like, wow, like, she was really touched by that. And just to have that moment with Beyonce is the best moment ever. So she goes to the side of the stage and does 1+1 and that whole segment. So in that moment, I'm like, okay, well, I knew I wasn't going to get my Barbie sign. That was a long shot. Let me put the say my name. And at first I was like, I'm a like timid person, like especially with Beyonce. So I'm like, I've tried this before. She didn't say my name, so I don't want her to see my thing again, and I'm gonna be rejected again, basically. I don't like rejection. I pulled it up anyway, got that sign, and I was like, okay, when she come back around that stage, I'm putting up my name, and I'm thinking in my head she's going to come back later on and say my name. Did not think she was going to say it then. So I pull up my sign, and usually she has this feel of like, I love you all signs, your signs look amazing, da da da, and she reads off the sign with just the name. Like, you could put, you could have her say something, like if you say, I love you Jasmine or something, or say, say happy birthday Elizabeth, whatever. She'll say happy birthday, I love you Jasmine, da da da, if she sees your sign or whatever, she gets to it.
Mind you, she's busy up there. So she looks over at me, and this is where I have to shout out that Beehive member. Bria, thank you. Thank you for getting that on film. Thank you. Number one shout out to Bria. Bria, like, literally, I can't thank you enough. So she sees my sign, she looks down, and I could tell she seen my name, and she was like, her whole thing was, this was right after You Are the Visuals. Mind you, I was so enamored by everything. I didn't even hear her say You Are the Visuals until I got home, and I was cracking up. So I'm like, okay, let me get my sign. When I'm getting my sign is when she said You're the Visuals. Get my sign, she comes over, she says, I love seeing y'all's outfits instead of the sign. I'm like, huh? And she was like, I love seeing y'all's, one of my favorite things is to see y'all's outfits. And then she said, y'all show out. She turns to me, looks down. Mind you, it was a quick second, but before then she had already seen my name and kept a mental note. She looks down, right, Brianna?
Fabulous clothes. Y'all show out. Right, Brianna?
craziest thing. And she'll be like, she could have just said Brianna, which she did in Kansas City. Brianna. She said my name twice. That's number one too. She said my name again. But when she looked over to me and literally posed a question, she posed a question to me, y'all show out, right, Brianna? Still one of my favorite moments of this whole tour. And let me just say, none of these 15 moments would I have ever thought, listening to Renaissance the first time, that I would experience. None of them, especially Right Brianna. Especially y'all show out, Right Brianna. Especially that. And it just means so much to me. My favorite artist recognizing me like that is unspeakable. And I decided this a couple of days ago. That was my meet and greet, okay? If I don't ever get to meet Beyonce, which I'm not going to limit myself, I'm a manifest. If I don't ever get a box, I'm not going to limit myself, but I'm a manifest, If I don't ever get that signature, I'm not going to limit myself. I'm going to manifest. But if I don't get all of those things, Right Brianna was literally everything I needed. In that moment, she recognized me. In that moment, she recognized the outfit I had made. In that moment, she recognized me as a fan. And in that moment, she saw that I made this creation, right? I made that outfit. She saw I made that outfit. She complimented the outfit. She said my name. And she was like, y'all show out, okay? She commemorated it into an experience. And so that moment will forever be number one. Until I get to meet Beyonce. Not even a box. Not even a sacred box, love you. Not even anything else. That'll be my favorite moment. Until I get to meet Beyonce, and right next to Beyonce, I'm meeting Miss Yvette, Right Brianna will always be number one. So that was my whole experience of the Renaissance tour, and so many other things happened. It was so much, but still best era. So all of this happened, and it created this experience just from an album. Just from an album. That's Beyonce. She doesn't just put out, a single and, you listen to the single and you get over it. She creates experiences. And that's why she's the artist she is. That's why the Beehive will always have her back.
I know people will be like, oh, Brianna, I feel like general public or people feel like we idolize Beyonce or we do this, and it's like, no, that's not it. She shows what you can be as a businesswoman. She shows what you can be as an artist, as a creative, as so many different elements, and works on her craft and perfects it, but also cares for her fans, which her fans are who, I won't say made her, but I will say that propelled her, and, her talent does that, but her fans, we're a part of it. I'll say that. We're a part of what makes Beyonce. We're not the overall package, because Beyonce has talent. Beyonce, without us, she still will be Beyonce. It's no coincidence that anytime somebody says anything negative about Beyonce, guess what follows behind? Where's Beehive? Oh, Beehive's coming. Oh, Beehive gonna get you. Yes, we will. And we will all the time. We will. We will come for you, and we will sting. We will sting for that lady. Because that lady gave us experiences that no other artist has. And y'all treat her like she's just, I don't know. It's a weird thing. It needs to be studied how y'all treat Beyonce. It's partially because she's black. It's partially because she's a woman. It's partially because y'all try to project some of y'all's insecurities onto her. It's weird. And it's partially because she's a celebrity, and I get it. People celebrate celebrities all the time. Yeah.
But Beyonce is more than just a celebrity. She's more than just a celebrity. She is an incredible artist, a talented artist, an amazing musician, and the artist of our lives. So that was my experience with the Renaissance. And like I said, I'm excited for Cowboy Carter. Get into it. Cowboy Carter is on the way, and I'm so excited for what is to come. I'm expecting even more, and can't wait to do another one of these videos at the end of Cowboy Carter leading into Act 3. Peace, guys.